This is lesson 38 of Algebra 1. We're talking about ratios. Ratios would be, for example, if I said the ratio of boys to girls in my house is 6 to 5 of my kids. I have 6 boys and 5 girls. So my ratio of boys to girls is 6 to 5. You guys all have your own ratio of boys to girls in your own households, okay? So a ratio is just a number like a fraction. So if I was going to write it, I'd write 6 to 5, boys to girls, okay? That's kind of what that means. Okay, and so sometimes they'll say, all right, the ratio in the room is 21 kids to 5 adults, okay? So then they want to know what happens when there's only 4 kids, how many adults are there, or something like that, okay? So we are going to work through how to solve those kinds of ratio problems and find missing information. But first we need to look at an equation like this and decide how do we solve for this, okay? So when we have 4 over m equals 21 fifths, we do what's called cross multiplication, okay? That means that we are making a little x and we're multiplying, okay? 4 times 5 is 20. We're going to set that equal to m times 21. Okay, so again, this is called cross multiplication. When you have fractions, you can do this, okay? So 1/2 equals 2/4. Okay, when you multiply like this, you're going to get the same answer. 1 times 4 is 4. 2 times 2 is 4, okay? You can cross multiply equal fractions and you get equal answers. That's why we're doing that to solve for this equation. Okay, so 4 times 5 is 20. 21 times m is 21m. Now we need m by itself, so we want to get rid of and cancel out this 21 by taking 21 divided by 21. So we're going to get m equaling 20 over 21. So it kind of seems like an odd answer, but the fraction 20 21sts is what m has to equal in order to make this ratio true. Okay, so let's walk through an example that's kind of like a story problem. We're going to go to page 154, practice question A. It says the ratio of neophytes to masters at the tryout was 7 to 2. So I'm going to make it 7 to 2, okay? 7 stands for neophytes, right? Neophytes to masters, okay? The ratio of neophytes to masters at the tryout was 7 to 2. If there were 714 neophytes, then they're asking, well, how many masters were there? Okay, so here is the ratio of neophytes to masters. This is how many neophytes there were in total, and then we can use that information to figure out how many masters there were. So instead of this question mark, I'm going to put m for masters because that's what we're looking for. Okay, so this is how you set up your ratio. What you start with is the basic ratio here, the neophytes over masters. This is the total number of neophytes, and this we're going to find out the total number of masters. Okay, we're going to cross multiply. 7m equals, let's see, I believe that is correct. I'm doing it in my head here, kids. Okay, so divide by 7 because we want to cancel the 7 out and get m by itself, so we can answer what m is. M equals 204. So there were 204 masters to the 714 neophytes that came. All right, last example, practice question B, same page, 154. The crowd in the Belgrade town square was made up of Croats, top number, and Serbs, bottom number, in the ratio of 5 to 9. So for every 5 Croats, there were 9 Belgrades, okay? Belgradians. I'm sorry, Serbs. It says if there were 18,000 Serbs, so we're going to set this equal to, so we know that there are 18,000 Serbs. It says, how many Croats were there? Okay, well, we don't know that information yet. So we are going to just cross multiply. I believe this is 90,000 equals 9 times C. Okay, and we want C to get by itself, so we're going to divide, because 9 divided by 9 is 1. And this should be 10,000, okay? So there are 10,000 Croats in the town square.